there are a number of themes. There are personal themes with respect to Jake's character and the way that he is essentially searching for a home, searching for a sense of purpose, which I think we all are. I think in life we're all searching for a sense of purpose. He's searching for a place and a purpose for himself. He's just a character adrift when we first meet him. And as the story goes on, he starts to fulfill a much greater destiny. But it's a destiny that he chooses and that he ultimately has to earn. What he finds is a sense of home, a sense of place, and a belonging. Now, the love story is part of that, but it's not a love story in the same way that Titanic's a love story. The love story is a part of that. It's part of what he fights for and part of what he has to earn and part of what he loses and then has to try to get back as the story progresses. I think almost anybody can relate to those ideas. So in a way, it's more than just a love story. Of course, there are other themes as well with respect to our kind of human interaction with nature and with other cultures that live close to nature, and how we as a technological civilization take certain things for granted, like what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine. And this whole planet is mine, by the way, and I can pretty much do whatever I want with it. Well, of course, we're finding out that you can't do that and survive. Well, Zoe Saldana is a very, very special person who brought so much to this film, both on screen with her, I think, indelible performance as Neytiri, and behind the scenes, just with her enthusiasm for the work. I think a lot of actors think of performance capture as something off-putting or something that will limit their art. But she and Sam Worthington and the others, including Sigourney, found out very quickly that it's very freeing, very liberating, and they embraced it and they had an awful lot of fun with it. Zoe as Neytiri captured every aspect of that character that I wanted. Her beauty, her lithe grace, her athleticism, her vulnerability, her incredible strength, her emotional clarity. And you see all that. This is not an animated film. These actors did not just show up like you've seen kind of in the making of Pixar movies and stuff like that. They didn't just stand at a lectern and do a voice part, and then animators went off for the next 2 years and created the entire physicality of their performance. Every nuance, every tiny bit of the performance that you see on the screen was created by the actors. Now, animators, there were a lot of animators that worked on this film. They did the creatures, the flying creatures, the ground creatures, and all that. And they had to do some animation on our characters, including the tails, because obviously the actors couldn't play the tail. They couldn't play the ears, which have a very big kind of emotional component in the performance. But in terms of what the actor did and created in that moment, we think that with the technology that we're running right now, that we're getting 100% of what the actor did in the moment. It was so complicated when we started out that we were actually creating all this new technology. We didn't even have the names for things. We had to stop in the middle of a production day and sit down and say, all right, what are we going to call this? Because this is going to be our new procedure. And there was no book to look this up. There was no manual for how you do this sort of film. And we were doing it very differently than previous performance capture films because, quite frankly, I thought they missed it. I thought they didn't get the soul of the actor. We went beyond. And when you're going beyond, it's by definition, as a frontier, as exploring a frontier, you're going to make mistakes. So we made mistakes, but we figured it out. I'm only smart enough to surround myself with enough smart people to solve the problems, and I had a great team on this. But even so, we were stumped a lot because we were way out in the unknown. But that's cool. I mean, that's where I like to be, and I think the result of what you see on screen is the fruit of that process, because it doesn't look like anything you've seen before. Sam had all the qualities that I was looking for to play Jake. But he talked like this. He was like Crocodile Dundee. We had to work on the accent a little bit. But he did it. I mean, as Sam does with all things, he conquered the accent, he conquered the physicality, he conquered learning how to work within performance capture suits and stuff that was experimental. We slapped an experimental head rig on his head and said, "Now, be the star of this movie." He didn't blink. He just did it.